When you wake up to the reality that you are not God, but you are made in the image of God, and you are a child of God, and you let that be enough for you, you're gonna live a very, very full life. And guess what? It doesn't just change your life, it changes everyone's life around you when you realize that. It doesn't just change your life, it changes your country's life. It doesn't just change your country's life, it changes the world. You see, because when Peter realized thousands of years ago that Jesus is God, and then Jesus told Peter that he is Peter, and Peter literally means rock, and he said, and on this rock, so on you, Peter, I'm gonna build my church, that the gates of hell will not prevail past. And then when Jesus died, was resurrected, sent Peter on a mission, do you realize Peter started the church? And now 2,000 years later, I am in Norway talking about the church. Do you realize how crazy that is? I'm telling y'all what Peter realized that day 2,000 years ago. I came 28 hours with a 1-year-old to tell you what Peter realized that day. The gates of hell shall not prevail against it. When you get a revelation of who your God is, when you realize you're that person, that's your identity, that's your purpose, the world changes, period. It's not too big of a thought to think that that is what happens. That is what happens. That's what happens when you realize it. So we got to get done with our insecurity. We got to get done with we got to realize that we are God's child. Moses had this revelation. God showed up to Moses in a burning bush, called him by name, Moses, Moses. Moses is like, here I am. Now realize something, Moses was hiding at this time because he had just murdered someone, okay? Bad things were happening. So if you think your life is bad, consider that, okay? Moses was hiding because he killed a man. Moses had all kinds of identity issues. He was adopted. He didn't know his family at the time. He was grown up in a house that wasn't his. All kinds of stuff happening. And God shows up to Moses, and God tells Moses to go back to Egypt and to lead an entire generation out of slavery. Whoa, that's a big call. Go back to where you don't want to go and lead an entire generation out of slavery. And Moses asked the same question that many of you would probably ask God. Who am I? Who am I that I could do that? And you know what God said in response to Moses? He didn't sit there and tell Moses how awesome he is. He didn't say, Moses, you are incredible. Do you not know who you are? You are this and you are that and you are awesome and that's why I am here. No, he did not say that. You know what God said? God said, I am who I am. And when people ask you who sent you here, you just say, I am who I am. See, that's why I said tonight, we don't need to answer the question, who am I? You need to answer the question, who is God? Who is God? Has anybody in here seen The Lion King, the movie? Okay, so y'all will get this. The Lion King basically shows you a picture of exactly what I'm trying to say. So Simba, he thinks he killed his father, right? So he runs far, far, far away. And he's living this Hakuna Matata lifestyle. And Hakuna Matata, it means no worries. He's just doing his thing, living his life, living it up. And many of you are in that Hakuna Matata time of your life. It means no worries. I'm just having fun. I didn't even come here I came here to fit that hammer in the nail thing. You know, you're just Hakuna Matata. Well, what does it matter, right? But then one day, Simba was going to wash his face, and when Simba went to wash his face, he would look to the water to wash his face, and all of a sudden, he saw his father Mufasa's face in the water. He saw his father's reflection in him. And what happened when Simba saw his father's face in him is Simba said, I gotta go back. Like all of a sudden, when he was reminded of who he was reminded of what he was called to do.